Hey everybody, we're back again with another video. I hope what you've been watching so far has been very helpful. If this is your first video, welcome. Please be sure to subscribe and hit that notification button, and a like, comment would work as well. Today we are looking at solving equations with variables on both sides. So very important, be rather difficult for middle school students. But once again, I would suggest that you go back to our videos on one-step equations, two-step equations, multi-step. So now we're at the top here with our solving equations, all right? Also, if you're still not strong with your rules for adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing integers, I highly suggest for you to go back to that. So we're going to take a look at these today. We're going to look at some with whole numbers, fractions. Maybe we'll even look at some decimal problems too. So I hope it's helpful for you. All right, so let's take a look at these two problems. I'm going to do two more on another slide, only because with so much work involved here, I'm going to try and split it up a bit. So the first one, believe it or not, will probably be one of our easier ones that we do. So in this point, I actually really think it's important to put our little river down the middle, as I call it. And what we're going to do here on the right side, since 15t is by itself, there's really nothing we can do to combine like terms. So if we have this 17, well, we can't combine it with the 8t because the 17 does not have a variable attached to it. But we can combine it with the negative 24. So we notice that the signs are different. So because of that, we're going to actually subtract. All right, so let's bring down what we're not going to deal with yet, which is the 8t and the 15t. All right, so 17... 24 positive and a negative, you subtract, you get 7. Because this is the larger of the two numbers, it stays negative. Okay? Now, what we're going to do is bring this 8t over. We wouldn't bring the 15 over because we want all variables on one side, all constants on the other. So, we'll subtract the 8t here, subtract the 8t over here, leaving us with 7t equals 7. I'll just rewrite it over here. 7t equals 7. And as I said before in other videos, you most likely will divide or multiply to solve at the very end, which in this case we're going to divide. So t will equal 1. And you could always go back and replace that to see that it works. All right, now with this other problem here, we notice that on either side can we combine like terms. All right, this has a variable right here. This has a constant. This has a variable, this has a constant. So since they're on the same side of either side of the equal sign, you're not going to combine anything, okay? So you really have a choice here. Do you want to bring the 9 tenths to the left or to the right, or do you want to bring the 7 tenths to the left, all right? I want to bring the 7 tenths to the left. You can go either way here. So we're going to subtract the 7 tenths m, canceling it out. We'll bring it over here. All right, since the signs are different, we are going to subtract. So we have 2 over 10m, which we know we could reduce, but we're not going to worry about that just yet. All right, now I don't really have much of a choice. I got to bring this 28 over to the other side. So I do that by adding 28. Cancels out. So we get 40. So I'll rewrite this 2 tenths m equals 40. Now, with this, I have a lesson before dealing with solving with fractions. All right, so I would do, I think it's called one-step equations with fractions. So technically, you're going to divide here. But remember, when you're dividing by a fraction, keep, change, flip says you're actually just going to multiply by the inverse. So we're actually going to multiply both sides by 10 over 2. This becomes 40 over 1 now, since we're working with fractions. Look to see if you can cross-cancel. All right, well, 2 can go into itself once. It can go into 40 20 times. 20 times 10 is 200 over 1, which is simply just 200. All right, this is a pretty tough question that we're going to look at here, but it works in terms of financial literacy to see, if it's worth joining a membership or renting or something like that. So let's go through. A golf course charges non-members $48 per round, plus a golf cart fee of $24 per round. Members pay a monthly fee of $384 plus a cart fee of $8 per round. How many rounds would both members and non-members have to play to pay the same amount? So we want to see what it would be to make it equal. So let's just deal with the non-member non-members things here, okay? So $48 per round. Well, we're trying to figure out how many rounds, plus the golf cart fee, which is $24 per round, all right? Then we have our members, which is all in this sentence here, right, and above. Members pay a flat fee of $384 a month, plus $8 per round, all right? So now what we're going to do is we'll combine like terms here on the left, which gives us 72R, all right, leaving the side alone for now. All right, we're forced to bring the 8 over to the left because we don't want everything on one side of the equal sign. We end up getting 64R equals 384. I'll rewrite this over here because of room. All right, as I said before, we'll either divide or multiply. In this case, we'll divide to solve. Divide by 64, giving us that they would have to play 6 rounds for it to be the same amount. So a non-member, if they're going to play more than 6 rounds, they're better off just getting the monthly membership and becoming a member. All right, everyone, that concludes our lesson on solving equations with variables on both sides. As you can see, it can be rather difficult. That word problem, in my opinion, is a perfect example of when you would use this in real life. When we finally get to this topic with my students, I always use examples like that and talking about like, is it worth it to rent the ski equipment or some type of equipment or just buy it, depending on how many times you're going to go. So you can definitely use that as an example as a real world math type of situation using algebra. So I hope it was helpful. Please feel free to leave a comment, a like, anything that would help this page grow. Appreciate it.